Hello, what's up, my friends? What's up? My name is Josh. I am your push coach, and I'm excited to hang out with you today. Happy New Year to everybody. As I'm recording this, it's January 8th, so I get that it's not exactly like Happy New Year per se, but I just feel like 2024 was a crazy year for a lot of people. And I just feel like we need to celebrate Happy New Year all month long. Let's just make a whole month out of celebrating Happy New Year. Um, I want to talk to you today a little bit about leadership because leadership is something that I'm really passionate about. Most of you know that I have written a best-selling book on it called F Leadership that you can get for free on my website, as well as the best version of you. We give away those for free as long as you pay for shipping. When you do that, you get an automatic download of the audiobook as well as an instant download of the ebook. So leadership is really challenging for a lot of reasons. And some people struggle the most with just literally leading themselves, especially when it comes to their business. And others struggle with leading others. Like they can get themselves to take action, but then leading others is this really big freaking challenge. And so today I want to talk a little bit about why it's hard, because I actually don't think most people understand. I mean, they know that it's hard. They know the experience is hard, but they don't know why it's hard. And I want to talk to you about that a little bit today, because a lot of people feel like, why would anyone even want to follow me? I'm not successful or smart or interesting enough. Or they might feel like, I failed or quit too many times. So like, why would people even trust me? Others might feel like, I know how to motivate myself, but like, I literally don't know how to duplicate success to other people, not others, others people's. And then some are just like, you know what? If others are failing, like maybe it's a direct reflection of me as a leader. But I also feel like deep down inside, there's this other thought. Maybe I'm not even worthy of leading others or getting the success that I want. And sometimes that's really the underlying belief that can be the most dangerous, because what happens is we get these deep rooted beliefs, okay? And then we have more like shallow things that we say because we're not consciously aware of that deep rooted thing. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you a little bit about today, actually. I want you to, I'm going to use as an example, I want to talk about math for a second. I actually really like math, but lots of people really freaking hate math. They're just like triggered by any type of math that they have to try to do in their heads. And so I like to use math as an example, okay? I want you to pretend, if you're someone that hates math, or maybe you're someone like me. I'm like really good at math, but was terrible at science. Or I want you to just imagine whatever your worst subject is, okay? We're going to use math as an example. I want you to imagine as a kid, you come home, you do math tests, you keep coming home, maybe fourth or fifth grade, and you keep getting these like really subpar grades on math paper and after math paper, on math test after math test. And then one day your dad is like, he looks you in the eyes and said, "What in the world is wrong with you? Are you just stupid? Do you not know how to do math?" And what happens is there's been kind of like these seeds that have been planting already. When you get a bad grade after bad grade after bad grade, it starts to develop in you a feeling, and a question, I should say, of maybe I'm not very good at this. And then out of nowhere, someone you really look up to, someone you really respect, someone you love, someone whose opinion you hold so near and dear to your heart, actually goes ahead and solidifies this big fear and this big insecurity that you now have. And in this moment, when your dad looks you in the eye and says, "Are you just stupid?" something clicks in you. And this is how our belief system works, okay? Our beliefs are built up of a combination of repetition and emotional experiences. So anything that happens like over and over and over and over, your brain eventually just adopts as a rule. Okay. Whether it's fair or not, that's just how our brain works. If something happens, 10 or 15 times, our brain goes, oh, okay, this has happened enough times. I have enough data. Let's make this a new rule in our brain that says we're not good at this. And your brain is really just trying to keep you safe because your brain doesn't know that you're living in a modern world where math is not a saber-toothed tiger. Your brain doesn't understand that. Your brain just goes, we've done this several times, and we weren't good at it, and that didn't feel good, so let's try to avoid this at all costs, okay? That's one of the ways it happens. But another way it happens is a really emotional experience, like your dad, someone you love, looking at you and saying, are you stupid? And in that one single moment, a concrete belief can be set. Repetition plus emotion just makes it that much harder to overcome, okay? It just becomes this like deep rooted thing that is almost always unconscious. And I want to help you to see this because on one hand, a lot of you are like, well, that's not really unconscious. I know I suck at math. I've continued, like, I'm very, very aware of that thought that I have. And it probably doesn't affect your life that much, especially since we all have calculators on our phone these days. But I always like to point this out. In that moment, you consciously adopted this belief of, I suck at math. But you unconsciously adopted this belief of, if I don't perform, my dad doesn't love me. Or if I don't do the right thing, I won't be loved. I won't be accepted. I won't be appreciated. And that subconscious underlying belief then starts to affect our life in way more ways than sucking at math does. Obviously, you also have a belief that you suck at math, which is going to make math harder for the rest of your life by just adopting that one singular thought. But there's going to be a whole lot of other shit in your life that's also harder because you're walking around with this new rule in your brain that says, if I don't perform well enough, I'm not loved, I'm not accepted, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. And the problem with this is that then we start to take on these unconscious habits. So for some of us, it turned us into really hard workers, which is a good thing in theory, but when we're not getting the result we want, especially in business. I've talked to so many people that are like, Josh, I've always just been able to work hard and have success. That's how it's always worked. And in a day job, that usually is how it works. In a day job, work ethic, as long as you're doing a job you've been properly trained to do, work ethic usually rises you to the top. But as an entrepreneur, here's where it becomes dangerous. As an entrepreneur, we have a lot of other moving pieces. Okay. You don't just do your job and have success. We have skills that we have to learn. We have skills that we have to develop. And what happens, what I see all the time, is so many people never learn the actual skills that it takes to build a business because they have this programming in them that says, I have to work harder in order to achieve something. And if I'm not achieving something, first of all, I'm not loved, I'm not accepted, and I'm not worthy. But second of all, I need to work harder to try to make it happen. And then you just find yourself in this cycle of just working harder, working harder, working harder, working harder, working harder, and still not getting what you want. And then here's where it gets really crazy, friends. You accidentally stack an additional belief on top. Because after you've worked harder, 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 and over time, remember that repetition? That repetition of, if something happens over and over and over, it starts to become a rule in my brain. Now I start to get this conflicting rule that says, for my entire life, I've worked harder, and that has got me approval, that has got me the love that I want, that has got me the success that I want. But now in this new chapter in my business, no matter how hard I try, it's never enough. Now I want to go one layer deeper because that's the conscious level. The layer deeper than that is, no matter how hard I try, I'm not enough. No matter how hard I try, I am not worthy of success. And when all of this just kind of stirs together in the subconscious mind. It becomes like a fucking Tulsa, Oklahoma tornado of limiting beliefs, which then accelerate all of the feelings. One of the things that people don't talk about enough is just how much our beliefs and our feelings are interconnected, and then our feelings and our actions are interconnected. And what happens is underneath all of the actions are these feelings, and then a layer deeper are these thoughts, and then a layer deeper are these subconscious beliefs. And if we do not take the time and energy to fix the beliefs, no amount of hard work in the world will ever matter. Because you can work all day and night as an entrepreneur and still not create success if you don't take the time to learn the right skills, if you don't take time to learn the right systems and methods. And working all day and night is not going to guarantee success in a business. So at some point, you're going to have to reprogram your beliefs and then learn the actual skills that it takes. And if you are someone who is struggling to create success, it is going to be 10 times harder to create success if you don't learn the psychology behind all of this, of how your brain and your feelings and your stories and your thoughts work. If you do not learn that, success is going to be 10 times harder. And if you're someone who is able to create success, because maybe you are the kind of person who learned the skills or developed the skills and got there, it's going to be 10 times harder to help other people to create success that are dealing with these limiting beliefs. Most leaders are just telling people to work on their mindset, read more books, get more journals, have a better morning routine. And the problem is, my friends, none of that is ever going to address the deep rooted subconscious beliefs that people are truly dealing with. The only way to do that is to dig in through something we call true coaching. And the reason we call it true coaching is because there's 1,000,001 people on the internet that call themselves coaches. And what they mean by coach is cheerleader, accountability, giving tools, giving systems. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But when I'm talking about true coaching, I'm talking about the actual, like, understanding the psychology underneath all of it and knowing how to actually coach someone through all of the things going on inside of their brain to help them to make the unconscious conscious. Okay. This doesn't happen from me teaching someone. This doesn't, like, even as you're listening, you're learning about the process, but this process still has to be done for it to actually change your life. In other words, you would have to literally get on a coaching session with me so that I could ask the right questions to find out what this belief is in your brain, because we all have different experiences, different pasts. We've all developed different stories, or sometimes we've developed similar stories, but in different ways. And true coaching is the process of digging through those layers to find out what is holding you back, to literally uproot that and start building something new. It's such a powerful thing. And that's why I'm really pumped, my friends. I'm so pumped about our next round of our life and performance coach certification that is going down at the end of this month. Okay. If you are interested at all, whether it's to overcome your own limiting beliefs, or as a leader to help others, or even if you're someone who's like, honestly, like, I feel like I need this at my job. I feel like I need it in my marriage. I feel like I need it in my relationships, regardless of what it is you're looking to change and fix. I can promise you anything and everything in life will be 10 times easier when you understand the psychology of how your own brain works. So if you're interested in that at all, I want to encourage you to go to joshcoates.com. Scroll down. We've got something that says basically how to work with Josh, life and performance coach certification. You can click on that and you can join the wait list. And here's what happens. When you join the wait list, you're going to get offered a free call with one of my master coaches so that you can literally just experience what true coaching is. Okay. A lot of people will sing praises about the thing they sell, about the thing they do. And then you just literally, like, paying a bunch of money and praying to God that on the other side of the curtain, it's the thing they promised. Here's what I like to do. I like to let you experience it first. I like to pull back the whole curtain and let you actually experience the thing so that you can see if it's even worth your time and energy. And then we can talk about the details. Okay. So if that's something you're interested in, go to joshcoates.com, jump on the wait list. We are starting our next round at the end of January. Okay. So if you get on the wait list early, we have early bird. Bonuses and discounts. It's a really good time to sign up, my friends, because you could be a certified life and performance coach by the end of April. Okay. That's just like 3.5 months away. You could be a certified life and performance coach. And again, that's going to mean that you have the tools to build your own belief to help others do the same. It also means you have the tools to communicate in a more powerful way. Some of you have heard me talk about this a million times. Everything I do in sales and marketing comes from what I learned about the psychology of how our brains work. Okay. When you know what's going on in someone else's brain, you understand what gets them to lean in versus what triggers them. I like to say when you truly understand the psychology side of things, you can build bridges instead of accidentally burning bridges. It's the most powerful tool to this day in almost 11 years, guys. I celebrate 11 years of business next month, and in 11 years of reading 1,000,000 books, making over $7 million in sales to this day. True coaching is the one singular skill. If I had to take everything away and be left with only one thing to rebuild on, I would choose this skill 100 times out of 100. So if you're interested in that, go to joshcoates.com, jump on the wait list, and let's get you a free call just so that you can experience it. If nothing else, let's just get you on a call so that you can get a coaching session and find out what's holding you back in your life, in your business, and your leadership. All right. I love you guys so much. I believe in you so freaking much. Please remember, everything you need is already living on the inside. We just got to dig past the layers of limiting beliefs, of things that are, the walls that you've put up. We just got to dig past that to get to it. But everything you need is already inside. All the resources you'll ever need are right under your nose. Love you. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you soon.